Fantomins Basketball, Facts versus Feelings on Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers and more growth. It used to be an option. Now it's a mandate. Personal development gurus claim its unlocking is necessary to achieving bliss. Corporate overlords demand it for strategies and operations. Everyone in between has facts and figures ready to demonstrate its irrefutable existence. But what's rarely discussed are the stages of growing, because those hurt. Remember growing pains? Not the show, elder millennials. I mean the actual throbbing in your prepubescent shins. The ones that came out of nowhere and could wreck your entire 12-year-old being. They were awful. Sometimes they were so bad that they would wake you up in the middle of the night. Interestingly, experts aren't sure why they happen. However, the ache is undeniably uncomfortable and also clearly associated with the growth process. We know this because they vanish once we are physically grown. After that point, change remains constant, but growth becomes a choice. At least in theory. There's lots of chatter about wanting to grow and the excitement attached to expansion. Yet it seems there's much less discussion about culling the time and patience necessary to attain desired development. Nobody wants to be 12 again, but 19 forever? That's a different story, because we don't actually want to grow. We just like to be grown already. Longtime fans of the WNBA understand the tension of this concept better than supporters of perhaps any other professional sports organization. Truthfully, their passion and patience have endured in impressive proportion to one another. The association's growth has been meteoric over recent years, with a 48% increase in attendance and 170% gain in viewership (ESPN) since 2023. The fact is massive gains have been made, but it doesn't feel like we're afforded the time to celebrate them. Instead, the pressure to capitalize on the moment and further push the momentum forward stands out as the preseason's biggest storyline. Can Caitlin Clark continue to evolve into a league-defining talent? Will this new crop of rookies step into their destinies with similar gusto? Can beloved vets continue to post numbers and buoy the youth movement? And will the WNBA's newest squad find competitive footing? She changed the game. Go ahead and tell me about flopping and turnovers because they are nothing compared to what she accomplished. Clark crushed her rookie campaign, setting single-season records in assists, 337, and points, 769, while also registering 122 shots from downtown, the second most in WNBA history. The former Hawkeye proved a worthy target for virtual investors, averaging 40.4 fantasy points per game and the second most fantasy points, behind only A'ja Wilson. Overall, 1,615. It'll be tough to beat those numbers this go-around, but if anyone is up for the challenge, it's the Needle. The additions of Duana Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Sophie Cunningham might limit Clark's shooting volume, but figure to also up her fervor as a facilitator. Furthermore, with the fever now filthy with talent, defenders will likely be spread thin, which should provide Clark with an uptick in open shots, improving her efficiency and opportunities from beyond the arc. Clark may have struggled in her first month as a pro, but her improvement over the season is undeniable. It's also indicative of what she's likely to contribute in her sophomore season. Her splits before and after the All-Star/Olympic break are useful in analyzing this. With time to digest the playbook and on rested legs, Clark's points per game, assists per game, and three-pointers per game all improve drastically. These numbers also further illuminate Clark's fantasy ceiling. She's a clear top-tier selection that will likely come off the board in the first 3 picks. Draft her with confidence and giddy excitement. It's hard to believe Bueckers is only now a pro, as she's been in the sports spotlight for so long. Not only did the Minnesota native earn an ESPY in 2021 and make her way on to Fortune's 40 Under 40 in 2022, she also dominated UConn's program for 4 seasons. Admittedly, injuries hampered the first half of her collegiate career, but Bueckers exited Stores as one of the Huskies' most prolific players, leading her squad to a national title this past April. Lauded for her 3-level scoring ability, Bueckers averaged the highest career point per game average, 19.8, in UConn program history. She also became the only player in the last 25 seasons to average 15 or more points per game and shoot 50 to 40-85 in her career, min. 50 games played. All of these attributes contributed to Bueckers being selected No. 1 overall by the Wings in this year's WNBA draft. While the 3-year-old's versatility offers fantasy managers a do-it-all skill set and an admirable ceiling, she shouldn't be expected to replicate Clark's rookie effort. Bueckers isn't as efficient of a three-point shooter and doesn't have the same facilitating chops as Clark. She's also going to share the court with Eric Ogunbowale, who registered the second most points scored in the league, 845, last year. Ultimately, Bueckers is best viewed as a high-upside play, worthy of being selected in the early third or late fourth round of fantasy drafts. Plum has shined as one of the association's most preeminent talents for nearly a decade. A two-time WNBA champion and three-time All-Star, the 30-year-old has spent the entirety of her career with the Las Vegas Aces, which were originally the San Antonio Stars when she was drafted No. 1 overall back in 2017. Traded to Los Angeles in January, Plum figures to have a prominent role in the Sparks' rebuilding effort as she reunites with Derek Hamby and attempts to complement the additional front-court efforts of second-year players Cameron Brink and Ricka Jackson. Plum has thrived as a fantasy fixture over the past 3 seasons, averaging nearly 19 ppg, 4.6 apg, and 2.6 rpg. She has cleared 1,000 fantasy points in back-to-back seasons and finished as a top 25 contributor in 2024. The transition to a new team might negatively affect her efficiency, but she figures to exceed 30 minutes per game for a 4th consecutive campaign, ensuring plenty of scoring opportunities. In fact, given the Sparks' lack of experienced guards, Plum could flirt with her 2022 numbers, potentially posting 20 ppg in LA. Consider the Olympic gold medalist worthy of top 15 fantasy consideration heading into 2025. Van Lith has been a star since 2020. She's played for 3 different NCAA Division I programs, Louisville, LSU, and TCU, over the past 5 years, making it to the Elite 8 with each school. The 23-year-old is also in possession of an impressive international resume, most recently representing Team USA in the 3x3 competition at the 2024 Paris Olympics. While there have been glaring ebbs and flows to her college career, Van Lith capped things off on an undeniable high note at TCU. The 23-year-old flourished under Mark Campbell, putting together a career effort where she averaged 17.9 ppg as well as 5.4 apg. Van Lith additionally managed a 45% field goal percentage while sinking 66 three-pointers as a member of the Horned Frogs. The hope is that Van Lith can pick up where she left off, continuing to grow as a facilitator and improve her shooting efficiency. Selected 11th overall in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Washington native figures to have her work cut out for her, at least as a rookie, given the number of veteran guards already on Chicago's roster. With Ariel Atkins, Courtney Vandersloot, and Kia Nurse likely to lead the squad, Van Lith's playing time figures to be limited. That said, she's in an incredible spot to learn and could be a fantasy factor if the injury bug bites the sky down the stretch. A 12-season vet, Hayes' experience figures to anchor the WNBA's newest expansion franchise. The former All-Star 2017 was recruited out of retirement by Las Vegas last May. An accomplished scorer, she proved a worthwhile addition to the Aces, earning 6th Woman of the Year honors, while averaging 9.5 ppg, 2.8 rpg, and 2.1 apg during the regular season. It's also worth noting that the 35-year-old logged just 2 DNPs over 33 appearances, 5 starts, as a member of the Aces in 2024. Hayes, along with second-year player Julie Vanloo, is expected to lead the Valkyries' backcourt. While her numbers are difficult to project on a new team, she should capture close to 27 mpg. Interestingly, she's averaged 15 ppg, 3.3 rebounds per effort, and 2.6 assists per outing when registering at least 25 starts. Given her age and the various question marks surrounding the squad's makeup, there are obvious risks associated with drafting Hayes. Still, the upside is evident, making the vet a fantastic final round flyer.